Vice President Kamala Harris shared details of the moment she found out President Joe Biden would drop out of the 2024 presidential race and endorse her as his replacement. The Democratic nominee was at her residence at the Naval Observatory on July 21 when she received the call, which led to a turning point in her political career. President Biden informed Harris about his decision to abandon his re-election campaign following a disastrous debate performance against Donald Trump. It was Joe Biden, Harris said in an interview aired on CNN on Thursday, August 29. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?" Harris told Dana Bash in the taped interview. And he said, yes. And then that's how I learned about it. The CNN host asked, "And what about the endorsement? Did you ask for it?" "He was very clear that he was going to support me," Harris replied. The VP failed to delve into whether Biden offered or if she asked for an endorsement of her candidacy for president. Bash asked the Democratic nominee, "So when he called to tell you," he said, "I'm pulling out of the race and I'm going to support you?" Harris dodged the question by telling the interviewer, "Well, my first thought was not about me, to be honest with you. My first thought was about him, to be honest." This revelation comes as Harris faces scrutiny for limited media accessibility during her campaign, with critics pointing to her first major interview post-nomination. The interview also shed light on Governor Tim Walz, Harris' running mate, and the controversy surrounding his military service and use of family planning. Bash asked Walz, "You said that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. A campaign official said that you misspoke. Did you?" In response, Walz reiterated how he served in the National Guard with pride for 24 years, adding his record speaks for itself. "I said we were talking about, in this case, it was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar's not always correct. But again, it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog," Walz said. "I'm not going to do that, and the one thing I'll never do is I'll never demean another member's service in any way. I never have, and I never will."